to the House of Wellness, the show for people who like their wellness without the waffle. And speaking of sweet treats, Crawford is here.
Thank you, Mel. I love waffles. Hey, we have a massive show. It's going to be huge. We're going to go out with a bang. Bang!
You know, I've given up adult content. Did that a number of years ago.
Adult content, what do you mean by that?
I think you know, Shane. Let's move on.
Men and women trying to conceive, what are some of the top tips that you can help them with?
Men that sit down at their desks all day or drive taxis or trucks, they have slow swimmers.
So we took Crawford down to the pub, and the whole idea was to get him to a point where his blood alcohol was, you know, just above the legal limit, and then see whether drinking coffee would sober him up.
There is a whole load of ASMR content that is about butter being scraped on bread. So there's a lot of food-related content.
You ready? I'm gonna wet myself. Get in. In the house this week is Yvie Jones and Dr. Andrew Rochford. Hi.
Yvie, how good. You always bring your puppies in.
I always bring my puppies.
Right. Who have we got today?
This is Cheryl, and she's a rescue dog. Right. She's a rescue dog.
OK.
Why are you whispering?
I've been practising my ASMR.
Right. Does that involve, like, whips and chains and sorts of...
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. No, ASMR, it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
Oh, of course.
And it basically refers to things that give you a tingle.
We call that an STD.
The tingle?
Yeah, it's not sexy. Oh. It's ASMR is all about, like, finding things that... the sounds that really make you feel something. Like, they're really big on social medias. Look, have a look at this. Have a look. I brought some.
Back with the mini soap brush. I'm just going to brush. A lot of you guys say I have crisp or sharp whispers.
Yvie, do you know what I think? The world's gone bloody mad. What on earth is that?
I'm with you.
Who takes pleasure out of all that?
Just some people.
OK.
Wow. You know what? Let's find out more. Here to explain it is Associate Professor Jessica Balensategui. Cheryl just to wriggle over.
I love dogs. I love dogs, so I'm happy to snuggle in.
Great. Just love to snuggle. This is ASMR. What on earth is it, and where did it come from?
Yeah, it sounds very scientific, doesn't it? Autonomous sensory meridian response. You did a great job.
Thank you.
It's basically a pseudo-scientific term that tries to pinpoint the specific sensory reaction people get to all sorts of mundane content. So it's basically just a product of the internet, born from these Reddit and online forum communities who were very passionate about this content that gave them that shivery, tingly feeling.
Well, we saw some of the most popular ones just then, but what other things, you know, give people the tingle?
All sorts of content can, if you can imagine it, basically, it probably exists.
Yeah.
In fact, there is a whole load of ASMR content that is about butter being scraped on bread. So there's a lot of food-related content, tapping on fried chicken or crunching fried chicken into the microphone. That's another popular one.
I'm glad we finally figured out why we invented the internet.
Yes.
What's the psychology behind it all, and why is it appealing?
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it takes them back to their childhood, so that primary sensory experience from when you were a child, I guess, your mother stroking your hair or singing you a lullaby, that kind of thing.
I just remembered what mine is from childhood.
Fingernails down a whiteboard? No.
Do you know what I used to do? And it just came to me just now. I used to ride my bike really slowly over gravel, and I loved the sound that it made crunching on the gravel. I don't know why.
It's really powerful when it hits you like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that
This
kind
is
of
just
takes you
blowing
back to
my mind.
childhood.
Yeah.
Mine was more when I was tapping on the cupboard to get let out as a child. OK, so when do people actually, do this? Because I understand that it's clearly very popular, but when are people listening to this or viewing this?
A lot of people use it to get to sleep or to relax, I suppose. But a lot of it is sound-based, so that whispering into a hot mic and the kind of tapping, again, the bread and butter of ASMR. But there's a subgenre of ASMR called oddly satisfying content, another term that's born out of internet conversations.
She's more than oddly
I love
satisfied
that
right
stuff.
now.
There's a guy in the UK that cleans the signs, the road signs, and he's like had 45 million views on TikTok. Watch this. It's the sound. Does that do anything for any of you?
Well, yeah,
Any of you?
Makes me want to go home and clean the bench, maybe.
oddly satisfying. The one for me is the cleaning of the carpets. Have you seen those ones where they find... I mean, see, now I'm going to tell the truth. There are some things that get...
Yeah, the pressure cleaning, that's a huge one.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Get into it.
Mossy sandstone in a gurney.
It's just cleaning your driveway, yeah?
Yes.
How big is it, and can you actually make money off it? 45 million views.
It's huge. But it now is an industry, basically, so people do make a lot of money out of it. One of the most successful and original ASMR artists, as they like to call themselves, is Gentle Whispers, who's based in Russia. She was able to quit her job as a medical receptionist and become a full-time ASMR artist all the way back in 2015.
Hope you sleep well.
There is an Australian one called Aussie ASMR Man, I believe his name is, and he basically just speaks in an Australian accent in great detail about chewing gum wrappers or maps. I think he draws maps.
This is fascinating. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yvie, maybe a little bit later in the show, do you mind sharing some of your sounds, your version of...
I put nails on.
Yeah, OK, I want to hear the
Would you like
sound.
it on
Yeah,
some-
love to. Love to.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Jess, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Still to come, the incredible story of one family and 3 heart transplants. Plus, comedy legend Hughes is here. And keep the applause going. Give it up for Hughes. Nice to see you. I hear you're geared perfectly because you're mad for wellness.
I am. I'm crazy for wellness.
Crazy for wellness, and you've been doing everything, including ice baths.
Yeah, I love an ice bath. First time I was in an ice bath, I nearly died. But it's like anything, you get used to it. And now, whenever I can, I find an ice bath to jump into. Yeah, they're everywhere.
I find you can get used to going to the dentist, but it doesn't mean I want to do it.
Yeah, but the dentists keep you healthy. True. Thank you. Got one. That's good. That's a point for me.
No, you are looking well. Now, a lot of people would be surprised, but you're a vegan, is that right?
I am
How do
a
you
vegan.
find
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. Only one in my family. My children are not vegan, so.
And Holly's not.
My wife's not a vegan. She's a veggie. Eats a bit of fish, so she's not. But yeah, so I've been a vegan for about quite a while now, 7 or 8 years. Yeah, so maybe longer.
And you went pretty hard. I mean, you just said, I'm going to be vegan.
Yeah, and once you decide to become a vegan, there's very little you can eat. So because there's...
And why?
Why? Because Ethical, that's partly. But don't get me wrong, I'm all for animals, but I think it's better for your health. That's what I think. Yeah.
David Attenborough says it
Does
is.
he?
He does.
And he's 99, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so he's lived a life.
That's right.
So what do you eat then? Give us something on your list.
Potatoes. I'm a potatoes guy.
Potatoes.
And yeah,
So healthy.
Yeah, but you know what? I've started eating them air-fried potatoes. So who here's got an air fryer? Yes. I think they're the best things that have ever been invented.
Yeah.
So yeah, I slice my potatoes, put salt on them, and put a bit of olive oil, put them in the air fryer for 15 minutes, and heaven.
You should bring out the Dave Hughes air fryer.
Yeah.
create your own?
I was going to ask if he's sponsored, because you're not trying to sell one now, no?
If Air Fryer want me to jump on board, I will.
you're there.
Absolutely. They're really reasonably priced.
Potato company.
Yeah.
Spuds.
Oh, I could both. If I could
Call you Spudsy.
call me Spudsy.
We're an ideas team.
You look a bit like a spud.
Thank you. I appreciate
Like a
that.
nice
Yeah, I know. I've got a spud.
Potato
Little
delicious.
eyes like the eyes of a potato. You know when the potatoes
sprouting
grow
hair
eyes?
coming out of your ears.
I can see the ad right now.
I mean, you are somebody that takes... You get pretty addicted to things, Hughes. I mean, and I know that.
Yes.
You're on... We've had a few phone calls. Can you help me get off this addiction,
Yes. No, nothing. I mean, it sounds worse than it is. We're talking...
What do you reckon you're addicted to right now?
The phone is... We're all addicted to the phone. Sometimes... I go on a lot of public transport. I'm addicted to public transport. So I was in Sydney on the light rail the other day, and you know what? You two... Your faces were all over it. You're going up and down the main street of Sydney, and I thought, I'm going to be with those two soon. I've given up adult content, did that a number of years ago. It's great for your kids can get your phone and you don't have to worry.
So adult content, what do you mean by that?
I think you know Shane. Let's move on.
You're so sweet, isn't he?
I don't believe it.
He's such a liar.
You're sober. You've been sober.
I've been sober. I haven't had a drink since 1992. And,
Wow.
so
I was
don't...
born in that year.
Thank you.
Is there anything you miss if you've
About-
gone, like, particularly being vegan?
Yeah, absolutely. I miss vanilla slices.
Oh, yum.
Snot blocks.
Oh,
They're so good.
No, I do miss them. Yeah,
about
dim
meat?
sims.
Are you like a tomato sauce with a dim sim, or you go...
No, mate,
A
that's-
soy sauce?
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
What do you
Tomato
mean? Sauce on a dim sim?
Tomato sauce on a dim sim.
Oh, sorry for talking.
Tomato.
Give it a go. Do you
don't
have
think
any
it's good.
vices left?
I'm giving up sitting down.
What?
Yeah, sitting down is the new smoking.
So why don't you do this interview standing up?
I would stand on this show, but it would be weird for the heights.
Yeah.
It makes some people uncomfortable, it does.
Yeah. Can I just say thank you?
Yes.
You rescued a dog. Ginger, talk to me.
Ginger is a puppy. She's 4 months old, and we thought she was going to be a little dog, but she's not. She's growing...
What is she?
Ginger is that's Ginger at 3 months.
I love her so much.
Yeah, she does not want me to do... And we've got to stop... She's addicted to chewing on ears, to be honest, so...
Am I, though?
So that's... Yeah, she's so cute.
so
She's at home right now in the backyard.
And you adopted some cats?
Yeah,
a couple
we've
of
got
cats?
3 cats. One of them, Marshmallow, who we adopted during lockdown. So, yeah, that's Bambi.
And Marshmallow?
No, that's Bambi and Minka.
Why do you say this doesn't
Yeah,
end
how
well?
does it end?
What?
Or just
what's
wait,
gonna-
probably.
okay.
It's
Right.
yeah. Bambi has claws and she likes to use them.
Smash
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Ah!
You were naked.
Why were you nude there?
I wasn't nude. I had my
cats.
shirt off. I wasn't nude.
Oh.
You don't get nude around cats because they like to anything that's moving. They want to.
Oh, yeah. If you
That's
bend
not
over,
nude.
if
That
you
was-
bend over nude as a man, the cats go...
What,
Yeah.
they go and you...
Ding, 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 ding. And doctors in ER say there's a lot of men that come in and they've bent over in the shower or in the bathroom naked and the
They
cat's
use-
gone, ooh, balls.
They tell you
That's
how.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, so it hasn't happened to me, but it would hurt. So
Like a speedball, you know?
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Scratching boast.
So what's more work for you?
Lord.
Is it cats, dogs, or your kids?
dogs are the most work.
Because you have a puppy.
Yeah,
That's
no,
hard
puppy's hard work. Cats are the best, and they should be allowed to go outside. Because I don't like them inside because of the kitty litter.
Oh, look, I
It's not
agree with
panning for gold, I tell you, trying to clean that thing.
No.
And we've got one cat that goes outside and the other 2 aren't allowed outside. So they're looking at me all day going, why is he allowed out there? And I'm like, that's in his workplace agreement and you have a different one.
And what about when you take off from your kids?
No, the kids don't even notice me. I can leave for a month and the kids... Well, I was in the jungle for a month, the kids didn't even know I've gone. So, look, I love all my animals. Rescue animals are the way to go. My dog, Ginger, doesn't bite as well. So I had a dog that bit for 18 years. That's really
Barkley.
not relaxing. When, you know, people know me and, like, they want photos with me, but I'm walking down the road with Hannibal Lecter, basically. So, and I'm loving the show, by the way. Well done, everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good on
Come
you.
back.
I'll
Yeah,
stay if you
definitely.
like.
All right. Please thank Hughes.
Yeah.
Well, next, meet the courageous young woman who overcame the odds thanks to the generous gift of organ donation.
G'day, Sam Wood here, and today I thought I'd chat to you from the office and show you some of my favourite stretches that you can do to stop tech neck and those rounded shoulders. What you want to do is you want to get your shoulders back, and then we want to stretch our chest, stretch our upper back and shoulders. So just go to your doorway, elbow just above shoulder height, and then rotate your body away to stretch through that tight, short chest muscle or pec muscle. Hold it for 30 seconds and repeat on the other side. And then just grab a chair or a coffee table, hands out in front, and just drop the chest down. And again, hold for 30 seconds. Combine those two stretches with some nice, strong rowing, and your posture will be better in no time.
Every day, lives are saved by generous organ donors. Tonight, we bring you two stories, one donor and one recipient, about the profound power of a second chance.
So this is a letter I received 3 years after Jack passed. The young boy who received Jack's liver, pancreas and intestines continues to do extremely well and rarely needs to be seen by his transplant team. The adult lady who received Jack's heart maintains excellent health. Both of the recipients of Jack's corneas are enjoying having normal eyesight for the first time in years. Jack was a really kind, funny, unassuming 10-year-old boy. He was just a beautiful boy. We went to that party on the Saturday and that's when the tragedy happened. They asked to go for a walk down to the shops. My friend got a call and it was her daughter saying that Jack had been hit by a car. He had a severe brain swelling and he passed away 48 hours after that. People can use these valuable, precious organs and tissues that are sitting there in this body. Parts of him would live on in people. He helped 11 people significantly improve the quality of their lives. Hopefully, for a long, long time.
My name is Jessica Chappell. I'm fortunate to be an organ donor recipient. I was losing weight rapidly and I wasn't quite feeling myself. After a battery of tests, recognised that I had a life-threatening condition called autoimmune hepatitis. It's an autoimmune condition that essentially attacks the healthy liver cells. The only course of action would eventually be a transplant.
Seeing someone that you care about so much sick and having no control over them getting better, that was the hardest bit.
I waited 407 days and the thing that kept me going was Meadow. There's nothing like the spirit of a young child desperate to hold on to her mother that keeps you fighting for life. So the day I received that phone call was a very ordinary Wednesday. I realised that they had an organ for me and that I was going to receive my transplant. For the first time, I realised that I had a chance to live. The first moment I got to see Meadow and Chris was so special. Meadow climbed up on the bed and she sat herself right next to me. She said to me, "I just want to hold you for all of those times I couldn't hold you." I'm incredibly privileged to have been given a second chance at life, and I don't want to waste a minute.
Wow. Well, with us now is heart transplant recipient Luca Angel. Hey, nice to see you.
Nice
oh my goodness, I feel like we're all just having a moment.
Yeah.
How does that sit with you? All of the emotions that you must have going through when you're watching that story.
Yeah, far out. I mean, it's so controversial because on one end it's this devastating tragedy and then on the other end, it's like this gift of life. So it's such a tricky topic, and I mean, the grief of families is certainly not lost on me. Like, it's a beautiful gift. So,
can you share with us your story then? How old were you when you were first diagnosed? How old were you when you received your transplant?
yeah. So I was 6 years old when I was diagnosed with restrictive cardiomyopathy, and my little brother was diagnosed on the same day. He was 3. And basically that meant that we were at risk of cardiac arrest our whole lives. We were unable to do any physical exercise, sports, long-distance walking, anything like that. And basically our heart just didn't pump blood properly around our bodies. So that went on for our entire lives. And then when I was 13, I received my life-changing heart transplant.
And if you hadn't gone on the donor list and you just lived with the condition, what's the life expectancy of something like that?
Yeah, so with my condition, there wasn't a specific number on it. When it got to the point to go on the list, the doctors kind of said, you know, it's pretty urgent now, so...
Wow.
What was your childhood like and what were the limitations compared to a lot of your friends?
Yeah, so Mum and Dad were really great. They tried to give us as normal of a childhood as we could have, but we definitely missed a lot of school, a lot of cardiologist appointments, doctor's appointments, procedures to check our heart, and then a lot of missing out. I remember in primary school and high school, everyone would go do sport and I had to sit and watch.
You remember the day that you found out that you were going to get a heart?
I remember being so excited. Like, the day that I went on the list, and I used to write heart on the top of my Christmas wish list every year. The day that I went on the list, I was just ecstatic. It was like the best day of my life because I could finally see a goal that I could actually achieve. Yeah.
Did the operation go as expected?
No, not quite. So my surgery was a bit out of the box, and I had the best medical team in Australia. They're all incredible, the doctors, nurses, phenomenal people. But unfortunately, when they put the heart in, it didn't start. So I went on ECMO, which was like full life support, and the heart muscle function was just still didn't work, and no electric function. And then kind of some miracles happened, and within a few days they found a blood clot over the heart, so I went into emergency surgery and my heart muscle function came back to life and started beating. And then like a week later or so, my heart electrics sprung back to life as well without any knowledge. So just a couple miracles, really.
Wow. It's incredible. Now, your brother...
Yes.
and your father and your grandfather all have heart transplants.
Yeah.
Your brother Josiah is here. Oh, wow. Transplant family.
Sorry I'm shouting across the studio at you, but yeah, I want to ask your experiences. I mean, knowing that your big sister and what she has been through, and then you're to go through it next, was that a positive?
Well, yeah, for me, seeing Luca go through her transplant, you know, it was horrible to watch, but also, you know, joyful because of what was after. It was like comforting to see her, because after her transplant, it was a complete polar opposite of what we had been living our whole lives. So she was dancing, she was walking upstairs without passing out, she was just living the life that, you know, everyone deserves. And it gave me comfort for mine, because I was quite scared, as, you know, everyone would be. But mine was far smoother than Luca's. To know she was there by my side the whole time, and now being active is a big part of our lives. You know, we go to the beach all the time with the dogs, we all play basketball for fun together, yeah, go for bushwalks.
Great.
Oh, my God.
Yes, and dancing is a big part of your life now.
Yeah, dancing's a massive part of my life. That's kind of all I do. I teach dance, and yeah, I just love it. Oh, there's me dancing.
Oh my God. And your dance teacher's called Cheryl.
Yes.
Yay! Hi to Cheryl. Oh.
Yeah. So
wow.
very, very incredibly grateful that I can do that. There's really no words to say thank you.
And I think seeing the both of you and knowing the work that you're doing, you're both very big advocates for organ donation.
Yeah.
Is it right that numbers dropped during COVID?
Yeah, so the numbers during COVID decreased by 23%, but there are currently 1,800 people waiting on the list, and only 1,400 get it every year. So definitely a minor drop like that makes a major difference. Yeah. But it has been slowly recovering over the past few years, which is good. But definitely the numbers still need a bit of time to recover.
So what would be your message, especially to the younger people out there?
Yeah, I think just that organ donation saves lives, and obviously, you know, it's such a taboo topic because no one wants to think about death or what happens after they die, especially young people. So I think it's just important to have those conversations because you can save up to 7 other lives, and that's just an incredible gift that, you know, you can't really get anywhere else. So I think having those conversations, registering, it only takes 1 minute, and actually in South Australia they have the licence box tick system, and their rates are 5 times higher than everywhere else in Australia.
And I think the other thing is that we don't think about is that during those circumstances and having been in an emergency room and unfortunately on the other side where you have to break very bad news and then very quickly ask the conversation about it, it's so much easier for the family if you've had the conversation with the family about what you want. Because, yes, it is going to be an incredible gift if you are a donor to someone, like completely changing lives. Yep. But you also put your family in a position where they don't have to guess.
Well, please thank Luca, Angel and Josiah. Thank you. Thanks very much for coming in and thank you for joining us. Well, still to come, the highs and lows of IVF, and Crawford gets drunk, you heard me right, on company time. See you soon. Well, having a baby doesn't always happen the way you imagine, and for many families, their fertility journey has included IVF. So today, about 1 in 16 babies are conceived via IVF, and here to talk us through the highs and lows of this amazing science is Dr. Lynn Burmeister from Number One Fertility. Hi. Nice to see you. I guess if I could start, is there a typical woman who is freezing her eggs?
Yeah, so the typical woman who's freezing her eggs is usually around 30 to 35. They're usually single. They're usually career women. They can't find a partner in life that they want to be with, so they come into my clinic and freeze their eggs. So that's your typical egg freezing person. It also could be a couple that aren't quite ready to have a baby, so they might have their career or want to buy their house, want to have a car. They're not quite at that stage where they can commit to having a baby, so they'll choose to either egg freeze. Some of them will choose to embryo freeze. So that's our typical patient.
When's the best time to freeze your eggs?
Well, our peak eggs are actually when we're 24. So, yeah, wow. So after 24, our eggs decline in quality. So, and then definitely after 35, they decline quite dramatically. So it's best to freeze your eggs somewhere between 30 and 35.
OK.
Yeah.
For men and women trying to conceive, what are some of the top tips that you can help them with?
Well, I like Hughes' little tips about standing up. So men that sit down at their desks all day or drive taxis or trucks, they have slow swimmers. So if you get a stand-up desk, you'll improve your sperm.
Wow.
And also the ice bath. Yeah. Cooling your testicles will improve your sperm. Oh. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so I tell my guys to get an ice pack, wrap it in a towel and pop it on their lap half an hour a day, and it improves their sperm, it improves their motility, and it also improves their testosterone, so it makes them more virile. Yeah.
So you mean pop it on your lap or pop it on your balls?
Yeah,
Like-
just on your lap. Yeah,
She was trying to be polite.
just on there.
top.
Yeah.
That would be hard to do.
Yeah.
So what about stress? Is that affecting,
Yeah,
is it
so
affecting people
when you're
in a big way?
stressed,
Yeah.
that does affect your cortisol level, and that can affect things like ovulation. So if you're highly stressed, you may not ovulate. So, yep, stress, and we all live very stressful lives.
Yes.
So calming down your stress, meditating, all those things can help your fertility.
I'll be honest, sticking some ice pack on my nether regions, that's going to raise my stress levels.
But it will improve your testosterone.
Got it, so there's balancing act there. But science has, I mean, it has advanced, hasn't it, in this area? And
Yes,
we're seeing a lot more sort of, positive movement in this
The
space.
technology has become amazing. So we can help older people get pregnant as well, and we can test the embryos so we can avoid having abnormal babies. So the technology is advancing, every day.
And how much is that impact? I'm still thinking about an ice pack on. How much is that impacting success rates?
Oh, well, our success rates have doubled from 10 years ago. So, our science is just amazing. We take cells off the embryos now, and we can test them for chromosome problems or any genetic problems. So, and when we put that embryo back, you have a 50% chance of having a baby from that embryo.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's also quite expensive, is that correct still? Like it always
we're
has been?
lucky in Australia because the government pays for about half of our IVF cycle. So in countries like the USA, some people will be paying $20,000 to $30,000 US to do an IVF cycle, whereas in Australia it's anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000.
How many cycles is average?
Usually people will do 3 to 4, so to get pregnant. So they'll usually do about 3 to 4 cycles to get pregnant.
So for anyone that's, about to embark on the IVF journey, what are some ethical considerations that they, need to think about before they start?
Yeah, well, also, what are you going to do with those eggs in the future? So what if you never use your eggs? Are you going to donate your eggs to someone? Or what if you make an embryo and then you never use the embryo? So they're ethical things to think about.
Eggs and embryos, can you just explain that a bit? Like, they're different, aren't they?
Yes,
the same?
so the eggs are where we just get the eggs out and snap freeze them.
Yep.
And the embryos are where we put the eggs and sperm together to make the embryos.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're different. So you've got like a little life sitting in the freezer, and so what you do with that little life, whether you donate it to another couple that can't have a baby, there's some of the ethical things we face.
And there's a lot of talk now in stem cells being involved in IVF.
Yeah, so that's sort of new technology. That's involving growing immature eggs in with stem cells to try and improve their quality. Because at the moment, when we grow immature eggs in the science lab, it doesn't work very well. So the conventional IVF is better, but that's new technology moving forward.
Wow.
Just helping so many families, which is extraordinary. Thank you very much for sharing it with us, Dr. Liam.
Thank you for having me.
And coming up, Crawford gets on the sauce and we talk hangover cures.
Want more House of Wellness? Listen around Australia every Sunday morning to Wellness Radio with Sarah and Gerald.
She's very content. We're back with Yvie and Dr. Rochford and Cheryl.
Yes.
Cheryl.
Oh, Shane.
Yes.
I've got a medical question for you.
Always like these.
Asking for a friend. Is it true that when you've had a drink, you have a coffee and it sobers you up?
Well, this is a good one. You're not the only one that thinks that this is a myth. So we decided to find the only person that we could think of to test that on, Shane Crawford.
Step me through the experiment.
OK.
How did we do this?
Yeah, what did you do?
So we took Crawford down to the to the pub, and the whole idea was to get him to a point where his blood alcohol was, just above the legal limit, and then see whether drinking coffee would sober him up. That was the test.
That was the
Did you enjoy it, Crawford?
Well, it's a pretty hard job to do. No, it was good. We had the breathalyzer, we obviously had the beers, and we had a good time. Alistair, didn't know him before that, but got a new friend who laughs at all my jokes.
Right.
Unlike you, Mel, you need to learn from him.
I have to start drinking, I think.
You just got to give her a drink.
But, yes, someone told me that you already knew the answer. So
I hope so.
you threw me, well, he threw me under a bus.
fun,
and here
though.
I am, I'm thinking, yeah, it's going to work.
Because we did the test after the coffee, and what happened?
Well, nothing happened.
Exactly.
So you were still the same
Yep.
amount of alcohol in your blood?
0.6.
Yeah.
Yes.
0.0.
Oh, 0.6.
Yeah, you did a perfect job. What we had to do is we're here to educate the audience. Shane, you are part of
You
this
could have told me
team.
before I rocked up.
But everybody knows now that the myth around coffee sobering you up is a myth.
It is a myth.
It makes you feel like you're more sober, didn't it? You're more alert, the caffeine heightens your ability, you start to think it, but you're not. Your blood alcohol is exactly the same. It does not impact.
Moral of the story, does anything sober you up?
Alcohol requires time. So your liver is what metabolises alcohol, breaks it down, so your blood alcohol level goes up. At the same time, your body is trying to break that down, which brings your blood alcohol level down. But that requires time, your liver, you need to be well hydrated and other things. But you can't accelerate that process.
Oh, I was going to go and buy thyme, the herb. Thyme, the Honda. Okay, all right, I get it now.
I can just see you getting pulled over going, but Dr. Rochford said, if I had some time...
I'm a bit of a lightweight, I'll be really honest. So why do some people like me, I'm one glass and I'm silly, why are some people just a lot more susceptible to getting drunk quicker?
Yeah, so it's the concentration of alcohol within your body and all your cells. So it impacts everybody differently based on how fast you metabolise it, what your body's made up of, how much fat you've got, how much water you've got, how much muscle you've got. So we're all different.
And I've changed. I used to be able to drink and I can't drink since menopause. So, that would be all the different changes in that as well.
Hormones play into it, how much you drink. So, yes, if you drink more, you get better at metabolising it. So there's a lot of things that impact it.
Is it true that cheap wine can make you feel worse the next day compared to expensive wine?
Yeah.
Or expensive alcohol?
No. That's a very common myth. No, it doesn't, because how you feel the next day is mainly to do with a toxin. You might have heard about this, acetaldehyde.
No, never heard that word in my life.
You break down alcohol, it creates that. That on top of dehydration, a whole bunch of chemical imbalances. That's what makes you feel not great the next day. Right. But in reality, if you get to the same level of alcohol in your blood, you're going to feel pretty rubbish the next day, whether it's cheap or expensive.
Is hair of the dog a thing?
What? What do you mean hair of the dog?
You pop a little something in your coffee and it's meant to...
Oh.
Yeah, some people swear
Asking
by
for a
having
friend.
a drink the next day.
Yeah, so all that does is just delay the hangover.
Right.
So you do feel better for a period of time. It's just because you're delaying the
Bloody Marys are
withdrawal
not
that you go
proper.
through. So no, that doesn't help.
I used to love a Bloody Mary. What about greasy food? Why do people crave greasy food the next day?
So the other thing that happens when you drink too much is your blood sugar goes down. So you crave a sort of an energy hit. So greasy foods, high in fat, high in calories.
High in cholesterol.
High in cholesterol.
Anything fried.
Yeah.
You like that? Hash brown, chips, hamburgers. Just anything that's greasy and all over your face.
Which is why those little trucks park outside.
Anyway, welcome to the Health and Wellness Show.
The house of unwellness.
We're talking alcohol and eating crap.
What's everyone's perfect next day hangover meal?
Hot chips with lots of salt. Like greasy, or bacon and eggs.
Leftover pizza.
Oh, yum. Oh, what about a kebab? A kebab.
Bananas are really good. They've got lots of potassium.
I don't want a banana.
Lots of water, electrolytes. What you guys are doing is it make you feel better.
Yeah.
Because it also gives you a dopamine hit. Because that food, it makes you feel good. So the dopamine hit takes away, it sort of kind of, distracts you from the fact that you're feeling ordinary. And that's why those types of meals the next day, we crave them. Because salty, they've got all these calories and they also give you that comfort feeling.
Just in case you didn't know, you're watching the House of Wellness. Stay right where you are. When we come back, we are going to get into some Friday night takeaway. It could be souvlaki's, it could be whatever you like. And Yvie endeavours to give us a tingle. So it is time for Friday night takeaway, and as a special tribute to Crawford's pub trip, I thought we could do espresso martinis tonight.
Right. Oh, there you go.
Is that what you...
I don't know
This
if I've
looks like
done my best
a
job
coffee
ever.
enema. That doesn't
Yeah.
look good. Have a look at that. That looks disgusting.
And alcohol. Well, you haven't tried it
What
yet.
is that?
That looks like the gas check.
No, I've had some people give me this as a sample.
Have a drink with
It's
the
not
doctor.
good. You taste it
What are your
first.
Friday night takeaways, boys and girls?
So, I mean, I was reminded of just how important it is with organ donation, that we need to talk about it, we need to decide, sit down with the family. Great reminder for everyone.
What did I learn? I learnt that I'm the only one for science that puts his body on the line. Drink 3 pints and have a coffee. It doesn't sober you up, but it makes you more alert.
Okay, great.
Yvie.
I learnt that all those years I've been putting really cold ice on men's laps and to hurt them is actually being really helpful.
You got to stop doing that on first dates.
I really
That
do.
scares them.
That's why I'm single.
I think I learned that Hughesy likes to stand up on public transport. Yeah.
He's a weird unit. Let's
He
be
is
honest.
he's complex
He's a
man.
weird unit.
Yeah, he was
And we
very
love it.
good.
We love it.
I know. And I also learnt that someone is going to be very, very excited very soon, heading to Norway, cruising the Norwegian fjords with the business class flights, all thanks to Tripadeal. It's worth 40 grand.
$40,000.
Big news.
That is magnificent.
The entries have now closed, so keep an eye on our website or our socials, and we will tell you who the lucky winner
Hang on.
is.
Hang on. I've got the winner right here. Oh, it's Shane and Yvie.
Finally.
So Yvie's been practising ASMR.
Okay.
Is that right? ASMR, yes,
ASMR.
yes. Okay, so get ready to tingle.
Okay, here's my microphone, so I just have to whisper everything that I'm doing. This is on my phone. La 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 la. We've also got this one. They quite like the sound of this. Okay. What about some paper?
Ooh, yuck.
What about cutting some paper? Okay, you know when you get that lovely sound of, I don't like that one. What about bubble wrap? A bit of bubble wrap. Ready? Oh, I love a bit of bubble wrap. Oh, what about, when you get that package and you're like, oh, this is a good sound. This is just lovely. Oh, Meg, has anyone got the tingles yet? Oh, what about this? What about me eating a pickle? What about me opening a pickle?
It's down a park.
Oh my God, are you ready for this one? Oh, let me just get this pickle out. Like this one. Yeah.
What was that noise? Go again, what was
It's hard, doesn't it?
What was it? Have another go.
No, go again. Go again.
All right, you ready? I'm gonna wet myself.
That's very good.
I think we really should go